He told me I had to leave. I can't believe he told me I had to leave. He's like, you got to go, man. I'm going to lock the door. And I said, man, you can just be quiet right there. And he's like, no, you got to go. So I had to, and then I went the other way, and he's like, no, you really got to go. You can't come out here. Ain't that cold-blooded? While I'm here, I want to do something real quick. I wanted to make a 50,000 mile video, and of course, this CRF250L 2016 is at 50,257 on the odometer, but in reality, it's way over 6,000. Like way over. Sorry, not 6,000, 60,000. I'm talking about this bad boy is way over 60,000 because it's had a sprocket on its setup, which popped one in the front to 17. You know what I'm saying? So the front one's at a 17. I'm sorry, at 17. It's at a 15. This is not a super sport. Anyway, so the front's at a 15 and the rear is at a 38 right now. Before it was a 37, so it wouldn't count for as many miles as it really did. But realistically, so it for every 10,000 miles that I accumulated, it probably didn't count anywhere from 2 to 3,000 miles because of the lack of being stock and me not adjusting any of the computer work to go with the sprocket. But anyway, now it's at a 15 in the front, 38 in the back. Like I said, I just got a new rear tire on the Shenko E805, so I just wanted to do a 50,000 mile review. And what can you expect from this machine? Well, it's simple. It depends how you maintain things, realistically. If you maintain things really well, you'll be fine. If you don't maintain things real well, then the CRF250L can really damage you. Now, I had to rebuild it, as everyone knows. If you follow my channel, excuse me. Woo, it's scary. It's scary to do some trail riding on the edge of the world right here and having to sneeze, but oh, look at it. Is this where the fire came through? Yeah, this is where the fire came through. Anyway, so with that being said, I had to rebuild the top end, the piston, the rings, the top end cylinder, all that. New piston pin, new seals. But besides that, man, it would have gone all good. And my opinion there for that happening was bad fuel quality. And the reason why I say that is because I put 87 in California trash gas, the worst possible, in my machine for the first 37,000 miles. As soon as that whole debacle went at 37,000 miles, in reality it was way over 40,000 miles. So let's just call it 40,000 miles, right? So when that whole engine had just too much carbon in it after 40,000 miles of just running it, I'm talking about running it, then that's what happens. Your piston rings seize because of all the carbon to the piston, and now it's not sealing anymore, and you're not doing what the rings need to do. So that's what happened. But could that have been avoided? Yes, it could have been avoided. I could have put 91 from the get-go, and then I can be doing what I'm doing now, which is 91 plus intervals of 95 octane, which is I mix 100 octane and 91 together at a ratio of 60 to 40 parts. So 60 parts is 100, 40 parts is 91, and it comes out to about $5.20 a gallon for 91. But for 95, but that's still pretty reasonable. So in my opinion, that's pretty reasonable. But there is an option around it, but it is illegal, which would be to go to another state, like Nevada. Anyway, I'm getting off the topic of my 50,000 miles. Anyway, so, oh, no, I have to go that way. So, 50,000 miles, okay? What to expect? Well, if I prevented the whole piston ring from melting, this engine is pretty damn strong. This bottom end is almost damn near bulletproof. And what I like about this is... What the hell is he? I don't know why he's complaining. Oh, is he locking the whole gate? So I guess I'm not going to go trail riding. Oh man, so today was just a lucky matter. there is a fire road, but realistically, they don't even use it. This is just for telecommunications. You can't even come out here unless it's open. So I gotta ask the sheriff station when this gets open. But anyway, that was a gorgeous little road I was going down. I wanted to see where it ended. But what it is, 50,000 miles, you gotta enjoy this machine. And you can enjoy it if you take care of it. And as long as you take care of it, you're good. Now, suspension-wise, I always recommend, man, just upgrade your front suspension as fast as possible. That's one thing that's a downfall about the CRF250L. After 50,000 miles, I've realized that I should have just done the suspension first. I would have probably enjoyed it better, as in the experience of the motorcycle. Just because, I mean, there's certain things that you're confident on. You just know for a fact, oh yeah, this is solid. On the stock suspension, now that in hindsight, now that I've seen everything, and I rode damn near 40,000 miles, actually over 40,000 miles with the stock suspension, 47 to be exact. No, 45, something like that. Anyway, so 40,000 miles plus with the stock suspension, I realized that there is a lot of shortcomings, and that's where Honda makes their money at. Yeah, they get a nice, pretty look, but the suspension's garbage. Complete garbage. The front, that is. The back's okay. But that's what it is. So after 50,000 miles of reviewing this machine, the weakest link on this bike is the suspension. But here's the thing: if you have one and you upgrade the suspension, now the bike changes completely. The bike performs the way you want it on the road, on the street, on the trails. I haven't been to a track yet, so I don't know what an MX track feels like, but I would have to upgrade the back before I would do that, because that just seems like a lot of crazy work for us, the stock suspension. But anyway, I've seen people do it on stock suspension, so I know the bike can handle it. People ride the hell out of these things, and I'm just letting you know, at 50,000 miles, you're going to expect a lot from this machine. You're going to expect these cables to keep on working as long as you lube them up. You're going to expect signals to go out, like the bulbs to go out, and all you're going to do is replace them with LEDs. I will say though that LEDs have a tough time with the vibration, so I've gone through some LEDs, and it's probably the same amount of time as an incandescent light. LEDs usually last for about a year. Incandescent lights last for about a year. I'm averaging right now about 20,000 miles a year on this machine. So after riding this for 50,000 miles on the odometer, I realized a lot about this machine. It's a good machine. It's a really strong machine. Like I said, everything's going to work. The bearings will work. They still have stock front wheel bearings. The neck bearings are still stock on this machine. This is my second round of brake pads. So for front and rear brake pads, I replace them at the same time. Damn, it feels like my front tire is either flat or my back tire is flat. No, they got air. Anyway, yeah, man, 50,000 miles, you expect a lot out of the machine. You're going to get it as long as you take care of it. That goes with anything, but at least with the engine, the brakes, the suspension, the bearings, the bushings, everything's pretty much damn spot on. This is probably the most, I've never bought a motorcycle brand new, so it's good to know that you can ride this thing and just ride it. It's going to be a fun time. So, if you want to do wheelies, yeah, it's because of my gearing. That's why I can't do wheelies right now. There's no power in this thing. And then you don't have good gearing. It's just a recipe for disaster. Anyway, this is observatory. Closes, snow, icy days. Pass is sold. Parkman. Oh, let's go here anyway. So here's the road portion now. So with that said, man, if you enjoy DualSportin and you want to do it on a budget, this is definitely a machine. Now, I will say, there is a Kawasaki that compromises the price now, because for some reason CRF250Ls have gone up in price, and they're a little more expensive than they were. And that's very interesting. Hey, this is a nice little place. Yeah, so I don't know why they're more expensive than they were, but Kawasaki has a nice one. But continuing back on the review, this bike is for what it is, man. I can't wait to hit 100,000 miles on it. That's what I'm excited for. That's what you can do on this machine, as long as you take care of it. I see no problem on this machine hitting 100,000 miles. I mean, shit. Sorry for my language. It's rare that you'll hear it like that, but sorry. But the example is, man, if the wheel bearings and the stem neck bearings, after what I did to them, last for this long, man, you're gonna have yourself a fun time. You know, like, it's just, this thing is just, man, it's a hell of a deal. At the end of the day, you're just getting a good deal for what Honda is offering at something that costs a little over $5,000. And the Kawasaki is almost $6,000. It's the high end of $6,000. So, and the Yamaha is obviously in the $6,000s already. So, I mean, for what you're getting, I mean, Suzuki, they don't have this kind of series. They have the Supermoto, so those are in the $8,000s. MSRP, man, the base I got this bike for was $5,200. I got it down to, it was $5,500, and I got it down to $5,200 because I was like, man, I just want the machine. Stop messing with me. And they're like, okay, blah, 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 blah. And so, like, they try to do all this and that, but, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, I got some water here. So, I hope this review, I can't go over there. I'm not authorized. I hope this review helps you out. After 50,000 miles, this is what you should expect from a machine. If you take care of it, you should expect everything to work. The starter's still good. The stock battery, I mean, stock switches. I mean, shoot, if you look at it, I mean, 50,000 miles, this is what you get, man. I mean, you know, this is everything. This is stock. The brake fluid's been changed about 5 times. Front and back, upgraded forks. I need to get, all I really need is new bearings up there. I want to do a rear new shock from Race Tech. I want to change all the bolts out to new bolts, colored bolts, because I can. Steering neck bearings and front wheel bearings, and that's it. I mean, you know, man, these tires suck. But, you know, I had a fun time coming up here. Anyway, I'm going to go back home because everything's cut off. Man, these tires looking good. They feeling good. What's up, people? As you can see where I'm at, this is Mount Wilson and the service towers when you look in the Los Angeles National Forest. Someone's actually up there. You can see him working over there. I'll try to zoom in to get him, but maybe you can't get a good view. Over there, that's Los Angeles Valley. Crazy, huh? And then San Gabriel Valley's over there. And all that over there. Anyway. Look what I found. Mount Wilson is a trail. Fire road. So I'm going to see where this bad boy takes me. But he told me I had to leave. I can't believe he told me I had to leave. He's like, you got to go, man. I'm going to lock the door. And I said, man, you can just be quiet right there. And he's like, no, you got to go. So I had to, and then I went the other way, and he's like, no, you really got to go. You can't come out here. Ain't that cold-blooded?